Ultimate Wool. As you saw a few weeks ago, I reviewed the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime Series version. And then I got Grimlock the next day. I found, and then, and there. So then, I did see the DNA kit this kit was on sale at Shosei store. Ordered it last Monday and it arrived Tuesday. So a week and a day later, it shipped out Tuesday of last week and arrived a week later. From Shosei store. So I'm just showing the box. This is the back of it. The front, it shows the labels and stuff of where I'm at live. So I don't want to show that off. So I'll just, take a look. I have primed tonight. I'll show his weapons. Well, what the original weapons look like and compared to the new bits pieces. So I'm just gonna move Prime over to this side. This kit also does work with the last night version of Prime, but that's different color, and then you have to order that kit. This is for this one specifically. So, it just says, please, fragile. Please handle with care. And the side is that. Just the labels on the front. So I'm just gonna open it up. I did order this from Shosei store. They actually had this kit on sale because this kit went for $50. This was like $30 when I ordered it. I do have the scissors. I'm just grabbing those. I just realized I'm showing that side. I don't want it there. Just getting this open. Up. It's like a game. There we go. Open this up. And this is just that little plastic they put around the box. Because here's the actual shipping box. I'm just gonna head again and then we're get it down. That way I can rip it easier. There we go. I got that corner free. Now I can free this corner. So hold out that bottom. I'm starting to rip this thing open. Which is fine, because this box is going to go in the trash. This plastic is going to go in the recycle. And this is over. Yeah, remove this off camera. I'm going to show my address. Show the address. Each room would be cut and there. So this is the box, the shipping box. And they ship it in and then they have it in the brown. So it's just those store. The box kind of looks the same. And so, and then they have these bottom corners on the bottom, just like the box. Because it's our brown box. There's no labels or anything. That's why I'm showing it off. See, almost like a symbol up there. Okay, yeah, there's tape in the middle. Something that's up. So now let's get into that. I'm just gonna grab my scissors again and find an opening and cut. Okay. And then I'm gonna just slice them in the middle. Here, the box is top side up, so we got it on the right side. So I'm gonna just grab this. And There, that's it for the shipping box. I'll just throw that bag in here. The writing goes down. Which that was upside down, the writing was, so you couldn't really tell. It was something exposed. So you can see there is a bubble at the packaging around it. So I'm just gonna get this off of it. And then there. Open this up here. Put that in the box. Some sticky stuff right there. I'll stick into it. There you go. Here's your box. So you can see DNA. Let me just my camera. DNA design. There's Roland. You can see the new arms. You can see the blades. You only get 2 of them. You can see the new sword. You get 63 SSOP Optimus kit. So you know which version? DNA in the cube. DNA 63. Kind of same thing. Same thing we just saw inside. Same thing again with the writing label. That's really nothing important. Back of the box. So you get. Let's talk about what he comes with. He comes with these 2 swords. I'll show you the swords when you get a brand new forearms with a new piece on the back that you can't see from the front. You get a brand new shield. Sorry, brand new sword. Has a lot better detail. I'll talk about that in the shield in a minute. There's the new shield, which is not. Yeah, there's the new heels pieces. You get the new daggers. You get his gun and used in the movie. You get his new daggers. You get the new sheath piece. You get this piece right here, and you get this spine, and you also have this at the top. Okay, there's that. Nothing at the bottom. I'm just showing it in case you're wondering. Grab the scissors. And by the way, you will need 3 tools for this. You'll need a screwdriver, you'll need a hammer, and pliers. Screwdriver, hammer, and pliers only. I'll mention why you want the hammers and pliers when we get to that part. Screwdriver, 2. There's only 2 screws, but so I'm just gonna get the scissors in this little opening at the top, and have the tape at the top. Okay, there, that's done. I'm just gonna get one in here and pull. Speaking of which, yes, I do know DNA did release show off a Grandma upgrade kit. Okay. Kit for the DNA design. We'll see if I get it. That kit. Okay. There, so everything's out of the box. You get 1 bonus accessory, which granted I didn't know this was in here. So you get 2 bags and then your box and your instructions. Just gonna do the. I'm gonna angle the camera down. So there, you can see all your new weapons. You can see there's the gun right there. You can see there's the new heel pieces. You can see there's the new daggers. You get that piece. There's the new sword. There's the new gun. And there's the new forearms. There's that spine piece like that. There's this piece. There's that piece. There's new blades, and then there's that top section. So if you flip it back, you have these little silver sections at the back. That's what changes it up. I'll talk about that in a minute. So there's from the back. So I guess this to the side. Now you get one more. There's 2 things. So I'll talk about this. So you get a bag with pins and screws. Pins and screws. So you do not want to lose this bag. So now, as you see the swords in here, they have this they're more orange tilt color right there. So since I read this from the show Z, I got the same swords, but they're done more like reddish oranges versus just the straight orange. So depending on where you could get this from, you could get it in a different color. Well, it's separate. This is random. This is a random piece. The ones in the package come with the figure standard. So it's just a little extra piece. So it could be for certain retailers or stuff like that they got it. Or being this for the first run. So it's a free exclusive. So then it's just lists all the parts. So it does talk about swapping his arm first. And then it goes over to his feet. selection. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it goes over into his arm and then feet. And then his backpack. And then his backpack. And then it talks about his new shield and sword. And his weapon storage. Because there's multiple weapon storage. And it talks about the filler piece. And then it talks about how to configure the backpack into a shield. Two. And then it tells you have to transform it. Him into his truck mode, and it shows you where to store everything. So there. If you haven't seen the ending instructions, there it's shown in yellow and sorry in pink what you're doing. So there you can see you're removing that. So let's work with Prime's arms assembly. But here I want to show what's different and not different. So here's Optimus. Let's take out the weapons. I'll save the swords for when we go weaponry, because I'll show it off again. So I'm just gonna grab these. So here, I'm gonna set Prime here for now. Here's the new weapons. Well, sorry, these are the original ones. The new weapons are still in here. So let's see the trigger in the box. Okay, everything doesn't just pop out and fall out. Okay. There, nothing fell out. So here, let's start with the pieces that are new. Here's the gun. So you can see it's in done. You got a metal gray, blue handle. So there you get the gun. You can see it. So if you want, you can get Prima Blaster. Yeah, that's it, which you did use in the movie. You can see it's all detailed right there and painted or molded, or it's a paint fused or it's the molded plastic. But yeah, there you go. Here's that. You can hold that. I'll show that off in a bit. You get not one, get two daggers. Daggers, hand blades. There you can see the detail right there. So you get two of them. They do have the slot in the middle, and then there's the tab at the back. There's those two. Here is the spine section. So when DNA first showed off this kit before they made any changements, this was all solid. There was no fight in the report right here. They added that later, so if you don't have the backpack on, you can still have weapon storage. So there's that. So that's why there's a post there. This bit. Because then everything else is slightly different. Okay, let me do that. Out. Let me just do this. And the new forearm pieces do have a bit some more detail. Okay, there we go. Everything that fell out, back in play. So this bit, so when you take the backpack off, you could use this. Now connect to the backpack to give him a new shield. I'll put that to the side. So now let's see what Prime came with versus what not. Why not? So here, let's work our way around. Here's the new blades. Well, the standard blades that come with the kit. So you see they have this orange tilt to them. And I'll just grab one. That's the original. The smaller is the original. So you can see a smaller handle. And everything is, it's just longer. basically, and then has this clear plastic. Well, this one's solid. I don't know if I'll use this one or the one that came, the new ones. And then there's a slot in the middle on both sides, too, for the weapon storage. So there's that. That. So here's the original one on the right, and the new one's on the left. So this one, it's just bigger. It has a bigger slot for the new sword. This is the original, and then it also has a slot. So if you want to store the weapons, like the swords or the daggers, you can store them on the side of these slots, tabs. Show that later. So that's another thing different. Here, let me grab the new helix. And then I'll do the weapon. Well, the last two of the weapons and that back piece. So this is the heals. I'll talk about this in a minute. Let me look at them. And if you want, you can bend them up. You can bend them up. Okay, well, there, I'll figure that out in a minute when we look at it. There's the heals. There's some other stuff that is still on there. Here is the new piece for the backpack section. So this has multiple hinges now. And you see there is, yeah. So now when you have this, like the backpack down instead, you have a port right there. I'll talk about this in a minute. I'm just gonna collapse this back up. But yeah, this has a port in there. I'll talk about that in a minute. So put this aside. You want here. So here, I'll do a little quick. I'll show you what. So that's how it was collapsed. And this, if you have this out for the weapon storage, it would sit up. And if you look at the front, it's not the best. So with this bit, this will sit down. So this will sit lower on his back. That way you still have the port visible, and then instead of like being like that, leave it, and then yeah. It's something like that with this bit. But that way it'll be lower out of the way. And yeah, they left all the details the same too. Okay, there's that. Let's set Primus aside for a minute. Let's look at his sword and shield, and then I'll look at his arms, the new arms, or to the original. Let's do the sword first. I'm just gonna do this. Let's see. So let's look at the sword and the new shield. New shield first. So here, here is the original weapons. So you can see they're not painted. So DNA, when they showed off this kit, they revealed two things that this was their DKW63. There was a sword and shield that was going to come with this kit that you could have bought, that would have came included with the kit. This, they didn't have all this detail. There was more detail. Those had less detail than these ones. This was part of the DK633W version. Fans complained, and so people's DNA decided they complained about how this should have came with the kit. So DNA swapped it. So now this came with the kit. You can still get the DKW63, the DK63W sword and shield individually only, or you can get this full set. And now look at the new sword. So there's the hilts. There's the middle of it. So you can see it has like, this has the red. It doesn't have the red right here on the original. And then it's like all the little spines right there. And on this one, it doesn't have the red right in the middle. Those little blue bits right there are gray. And then and then there's like a little red right here, and that's kind of a different shape. And it doesn't have the writing on the sides. And if you notice, the blades are longer. Let's try here. Let's do this. So you can see the new one is slightly longer than the original. So there, that's good. And yes, this can still be removed, so that way you can still insert it to the figure's hand. And also, if you have it this way, you can see like that detail right there. So there, that's a lot better. So I'm gonna set that again to the side. We're almost done. Looking at the differences. Here's the new shield, and this is old shield. This is the new one. So you can see this one has the gold right here at the back, the blue and the red. This one has the full red. This has the red right there, and this one has more like this is the plastic, so it's more a different shade of red. This one has the reds going down here on the front. This also has the gold, and then these side sections right there. And if I look under from the back, that's the underneath. So I'm gonna put this one in cannon form just for a minute and show you. And also one thing, if you notice, this one has a port right here, and this one does not. So it's another thing different. So this is like the official cannon mode for the official sword, for the official cannon. Let's take a look at the new one. And the new one is this one is actually has its own hinges right there, so you're not doing parts warming. I say the cannon. Let me get this separate. Okay, there was tabs holding it in. There is it's held in by a couple of the tabs at the front. So there, pull this down, and pull that down. And if you want, you could kind of angle this out to give it that look. But also, if you want to give it storage while this is on his back, flip this down so that way you can still shoot the sword while this is out, or you can just leave that down. But last bit, you want to angle these out. Angle those out. If you want, you can angle this to give it the full look, and you can see the barrel is longer. That's the official. That's the official cannon mode. You can see this one is more wider, and because that's don't flip out, out. Those stay straight. The new ones do, and all the paint detail. So yeah, I like the new ones better. So I'm just gonna put the shields back outside. I'll show them how they won't look on the figure. Let me just put this one back in its normal shield form. Yeah, I do like the new weapons, and the new accessories better so far, but I'll still give my final thoughts near the end. Okay, so this is there. This is the standard arm, to give you an example. Make sure I get the right arm. So you can see this one has a little bit more rounded. This is more bulkier. And then with all the angle, this one's the flame. This one just has the red right there. If I look on the side, still point tab, this one does have the flame right here on the red on his fist. Yes, the hand can still open and bend forward. So the articulation doesn't change. If I rotate it on the inside, now that's the inside, and this has this silver right here. The original is just blue. And now if I look from the underside, that's where it changes. Again, see, this is on the pin, so that's different. You can see the flame right there. You still see that silver bit, and you also have this bit at the back. And then that's what it looks like underneath. So I'll talk about this. So in the movie, when you see Optimus, before he got the sword and shield, he was kind of more like this with the arms configuration. Then as soon as he got the sword and shield, his arms upgraded a little bit. So you can say this is before he got the sword and shield, and then this is how he looked after. And in the back, where you saw Grim when he was fighting Grimlock, when he was fighting Grimlock in the one scene, in robot mode, or going like it was robot mode, that's how hollow the back would be filled in. And now that DNA piece just fills that in. So it does fix that. So there's a lot of good changes from the kit to the new kit, the kit to the figure. That's also everything. You don't get anything else that's different. All right. I don't know about you, but let's upgrade Optimus and see how he looks with the new arms. So you're just gonna, I'm gonna bring these shoulder pads up. So these, you're just gonna, these are on mushroom pads. So you're just gonna slide this arm forward. Forward. Like that, as I bump the camera. So you can get the same thing off. So yeah, just push forward and right there. There. Now he's armless. And here, that's the new arm versus the original. So they're the same height from what it looks like. Oh wait, no, it looks like the new one is slightly longer. Slightly longer. Yeah, it's slightly longer. Or it almost it's the same, but yeah, it's slightly longer. All right, so let's change out his arm. So I'm just gonna put the original to the side and get the new ones in. So these, I'm just gonna go reverse and push these back. I'm just gonna bend them and get them on Prime's arms. Well, Prime's shoulders. So he is now almost ready to battle. So then there's the mushroom peg. You're just gonna insert this on. We'll just push back this time and do 1, 2. Push back. And see, it's going on already. Let me just do it off camera, make sure it's all the way in. Because as soon as I say it pops, it slides right off. It slides right off. So I'm gonna say I don't have it in all the way, and that's why it's sliding off. Let me do the other side and see if that's easier because they're going on. What's going on? Going to hold and drop. Going to just remove this back section for now. I'm just getting his arms on. That's seems to be the issue with me, with mine right now. But I'll get it in a sec. It's not going past a certain point, so I got it, and then it just slid off. Okay, let me do this off camera because this I literally moved it and then it slid off. So just might need to grab some help. I'm gonna do it this way and go in. And this is tight going on, so in. Get your arms on, Prime. Get your arms on. It's just that it's tight and I'm pushing it on a tight section. Yeah, at least you know it won't be coming off anytime soon. Soon. If I can get the arm past this point, I can do it. Yeah, on. No, just like that. Yeah, it's not going in all the way. Just maybe get help. We'll see. Yeah, because I'm moving the arm and it just slides off. Master peg. So far, the right arm, the left arm is staying on. It's not all the way on, so I might just count that as done. It's not fully in. I'll get it in later, but yeah, I know, but just it off more. I got it in. And as soon as I move the arm, it comes undone. There we go. I got the left arm on fully. Right arm on fully. It's not like sitting in its place flat. I've at least got it in. Now I'm doing the left arm because I just got the right arm done. Again, it's still not sitting flat, but it's on better than it was before. Than it was before. Okay, that's weird. So the new hands do actually have articulation. So when but there I got the arms on, on one. They're not sitting all the way in. Like you can still see there is some gap. page, they're not seeing flush, but this section has this joint that can move forward. So maybe to give it outward bend, question mark? Or it's just, since it's on the pin, but original hands were on the pin, right? Yeah, and they didn't do that. So, I don't know. I'll at least do the hands later. I won't spend like the whole 20 hours just doing this section. So, wait, looks like they show the arms going in sideways and then rotating forward, or wait. Yeah, so if they come off again, I'll try it sideways. Try it. Instructions show. So let's get ready to lay prime on his back. Because now it's time for some feet installation. Some heels. New feet. So let me lower my camera down and leave the arms alone. Okay, here's the original heels. They pop off if you put pressure on them. These are just friction hinge. The new ones will have pins. Pins. So you're just gonna, that just came off. Okay, you're just gonna remove them. They're on friction hinges, and yeah, you see if I put like too much weight, that will just eventually start breaking off. Which the new one is gonna actually stay on. So I'm just gonna lay prime on his back and probably do it like this. So this might be the best way to get access to these sections. So you want to make sure you have the correct heel. Now, and then, so it looks like this with I believe the tab we want out. Do it on one side more. I were correct. You want the tab side going out. Okay. Yeah, you want the tab going out. 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 So I'm just gonna at least get this one in here so you know. You want the tab going out. Let me see one thing. Yeah, because see, this is, well, with the original. So yeah, this is how you know. And then if you have it this way, for example, that aligns up better. Because if I put this on this side, you see it sits, but it's not like flat and even. Because if I put it on this side, this section aligns, this side section, outer section, aligns up with that section. So here, this goes here, and this goes here. Time for some pins. So grab your pliers and hammer. Yeah, the instructions show it going out, so it was right there. So you want to grab your hammer and pliers. So there's a chance I might do this off camera if it gets rough for me, hard for me. Just making sure everything's like off to the side. So yeah, there's a chance I might do it off camera. And you also want to grab your pin bag and then just leave the screws in here because we're going to use those soon. Just kind of there. That way primes and develops angling them up. And 2. So let me go open up the pin bag real quick. Don't roll away from me. me just make sure I put the pins on right. I don't want the leg on right. I don't want to mess it up. Up. Double check real quick. Okay, I see. They are telling you to have the pin go in this side. So, I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm gonna lay it sideways and then, well, like I did before. Oh, there we go. Reattach his backpack. I just noticed it was still off. No. Go rest over there in that little lip. Okay. There. So this section will just go in here. Here and then like that. And then with the heel. And this. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I have the correct slide. I'm lucky I got it. Yeah, so you want the heel the same like that. So I had it on the wrong side. So I almost gave him the wrong pin and then I would have been bad. So you want this out. And now just hammer that in. Hammer that in. So I'm just gonna set you over here. Make sure you're the new one. And I'm just gonna hammer this in. Yeah, I'm gonna do this off camera. I don't really have a lot of range in the middle frame. Or am I gonna try? I'm just seeing what way. There, this looks like I have less room. It's up here. And yeah, see that these are loose. That's why you want to add the pin. And so I'm just gonna hold this and well, just give it a relax. So I'm gonna do this off camera for easier for me. And so that way I don't like accidentally hit my fingers on the frame. And there's nothing like really holding this while you're doing it, so you gotta be careful. I might do it on the table. I might just move the camera over. That way I have room to work. Because that way I can at least set this over here on the other table. Table. Okay. I'm just seeing it. Can I? Yeah. There we go. I got less room. I just undid that hinge and then brought that forward for transformation. That way I have a little bit more room to get this piece in. That will help me put the toe like that. I'm gonna snip in. Just give it a couple hits. Relax. There, I just decide to spin the leg to the side, planet. That way it's a lot easier. That way I can at least hold this and the hammer better. As that piece comes out. But it's not like fully in yet, so it's gonna be loose. Just wondering how I can hold this in without it. Is it going in? It's going in, I can see it. It's just checking, or it looks like it is. And or it looks like it's going in. Angle. Okay. Yeah, there's a chance to make it out, but if I can't do it, this pin getting in. It's coming out. It's going in the hole. I can see it. It's just taking a sec. I just gotta like hold it for a minute until they get it in. Then I can remove my hand from here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, their pin is about to go in his leg, his foot. So two more hits, and then it will go in his leg. And I don't have to hold my hand here. Two. Here. I'm just gonna hammer this in. But yeah, it takes me a few minutes. I'll get help. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can just squeeze it with the pliers now. Instead of me like fighting with this hammer. Because the pliers are gonna be easier, I can just squeeze instead of like holding it. And I can grab with the pliers. Once it's in. A bit more. There, the pliers help me get it in that far, so I just gotta give it a little bit more squeeze, and then we're done. Well, I'm done with this side. Because now I can just get like the last few like the hits of the hammer. But now that's in, now let's get better grip on it. Just gonna, or like squeeze with the pliers and get it in. Yeah, that pliers make that piece tighter. Well, the pin helps it make that piece tighter, so it won't be like all coming out easily. Yeah. Sorry, I had an interruption. I can just hammering it in. There we go. There we go. It's in. I got it. So yeah, I just got the pliers in there as soon as the pliers got it in, and then I just hammered it with the pliers. So I'm just gonna close this leg panel back up, and then just put everything back in its original configuration. So now there's that. So you can see it has a pin. Now I'm just gonna do the other side, and hopefully it goes easy. It just takes a minute getting that pin in there and then hitting it with the hammer. At least the arms didn't take that long. Yeah, I'll finish the arms off stream. Well, getting those bits in. They're home. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on the other pin. I just said it, but there, I'll show it off after I'm done. And get that in at least. In. There I got it in. I'm just gonna insert the pin, well, the bit in, and angle and hold that and see. Maybe I can try the pliers getting this in first for a bit, and then I can do the hammer for the last like few touches if I need to. Yeah, no, I'll have to give it a few whacks of the hammer. And then I'll do the pliers again. If it, let's try it again. That's simple. I'll give it a few whacks of the hammer, and then I'll get the pin in, and then I'll fire up. Up. There we go. That worked a lot easier. I'm just gonna plier finish the plier. Fine. Here, I'll do it back on frame. There, got the pin on. I'm just gonna finish the plier slide, and then now just get that little picture. And around bring them. Yeah, this is start to film. I know that. I'm going to open this up. Let's just I'm gonna open there. Okay. Oh, like this is gonna be hard to film. So I'm gonna give you this angle. Your eyes this angle and then on top end squeeze. Well, I got more of it in. So now you can see it's somewhat out. It's still in. Just bring the camera back in the middle. Here I can do that. That way I have at least more arm movement range. And so yeah, I'm just gonna get this in the middle of it and just squeeze. Squeeze. Make sure you know your fingers are underneath it and keep the foot straight and do it again. There we go, camera up. It just makes it easier for me off the camera. No, I didn't even. I'm almost there. Just gotta angle it again. And adjust the. Maybe if I bring the foot down and do it, I have a better angle. This pin. Just gotta get the last bit in, and we're done with the pliers. There, yeah, I had to close the foot up and make it easier. So I'm just gonna, well, flatten everything. Flatten the foot too, just because. And there, that's in now. That's not gonna come out. Just gonna give it a little bit more pressure. And I'll call it done. So there, I don't need the plier slash hammer anymore. Because we are done with those. There, so that's, well, you can't really see it from here. Go. That's done. There, that's done on both sides with the foot. Now this. There we go, that's done. Oh, I got that done. So yeah, I just used the plier, the hammer to get the pin in and low enough where I could swap to the pliers, and the pliers just, well, worked out. There, I got that one on quicker. Now Prime has almost all of his upgrade parts. So let's go look at the backpack again. Well, let's do the backpack now. Now. There, so Prime is fully almost armored up. Okay. Let me just spin him to the back and do that. Okay. So we don't need this. There's any more still there. That's something else we finished. Okay. Just a quick reminder. You notice we still haven't used the screws yet. We're going to do that in a minute. So this was the original backpack set on, because that was almost an hour ago. I showed it off. Well, literally almost an hour. In an hour or so. The arms and then the new heels, which I just realized I didn't show off a little bit. I'll do that in a minute. Right now. Okay. So let's just say, hey, I don't like how these heels sit out this far. There's this section at the back. You can bend up this section, which this is tight. So I'm going to do this off camera. And this is tight. Doesn't look like there's a clearance for it, but here, let me see. Because I don't want to break it too. And then I want to. I'm literally forcing that to move and it's not moving. So yeah. Maybe the other side might work better. There. Okay, so one side worked better, the other side didn't. So there, that's so you can see, and then that collapses up. This side, I don't know what's wrong with it. I'll look at more off camera. But there, and you also have like plain details too. Let's see something. Yeah, because these are tight. They're tight. Rancid once I move it around more, it will. But yeah, now it's tight there. But yeah, I do like how if you want, you can collapse the heel too to make it like a little bit more detail. So I'm gonna try it one more time, bending this side up. Up. If not, I'll do it later. By that, off camera, off stream. At least I got one side to bend, so it's halfway. Yeah, I'm literally putting force on this side, so I don't know what's wrong with it. Looks like they're the same, but same on each side. This is molding. The where they bend. It's just one side's stiffer and the other side's looser. Easier and harder. Easier and harder. Bend. And I'm trying not to bend it where the where's that pin where the one I installed in. Yeah, that's tight. I'll get it later. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight it anymore because I don't know what's going on with it. But I mean, we're sad if I want to leave like the pin, that side section longer. Give it more heal support. What support? Leave one bend, one forward. Okay. There's that. Now we're gonna look at his backpack. So then we'll go back to weaponry. So that's how it's set, and if you want to leave the weapon on it. And if you don't want to leave the weapon on it, you have to collapse it like that. We're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna open these little doors and just pull this off. And there's a mushroom pack. Pull it off. We're gonna set prime to the side. And so we don't need him anymore for now. So this is the original bit, and this is the new one. There's 2 screws right here. You're gonna remove them. That's what you want to do. So I'm gonna get the screwdriver and ready, prepared. I can remove the back of the screwdriver. Got it off. Off. There we go. It's tight to remove the back end of it. To remove the rear of it. Okay. Hopefully this one might work better. To just remove these off camera. One of the old screws is out. I'm just gonna do the other side. There you go, both screws are out. Now this piece, this section right here, you don't need anymore. This is the original. Section. This piece you throw away, you don't need it anymore. And now, here, let's do this. Here's the new one. The little pins, they are sitting more forward on the new kit, and then they are more skinnier. That's what I was saying. I'm going to show it off. They are more pointier. So yeah, this section, you can see, they bind to it. Now, let me see how they want this going on. The new bit. Go. Wait. All right. I see it. It's going to go on like this. And now when you have this in its weapon storage mode, that will sit lower. So you don't, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna just get the new screws on and screw it in place. And just screw them real quick. righty tighty, lefty loosey. So I'll at least get it in, then I'll like tighten them up both later. That way, I'm not like they're at least holding it in, then I can tighten it at the end, finish it off. I can get the screw in here. Do it this way. I don't think I might have put the screw at angle. It's in. It's better than there. That one's in. I just decided to do it individually. I'm just gonna do the other side real quick, and then that's it for. We don't have to do like any more screwing. To get this screw in. Just getting that screw in. To be honest, I got in better than the other side, but there you go. Both screws are in. It works. Just gonna remove the screwdriver and be done with it. With it. Screw done. Don't need that anymore. There's the only two screws, not like four. You know. I'm just gonna put these up here. And I also want to like strip these screws, and they've been used. I don't want to use those anymore. Here, so that's the new backpack case. So when I've seen at least a picture of it, video of the kit. I'm just gonna show you how it looks now for trial mode with this bit. So that's that, and then this will sit up and back, and that will sit right there. So the same in truck mode orientation, but there is some differences that you can do. This can bend forward now. So here, let's get Prime back out and reattach this to his back. It connects the same way, so none of that changes. And now I'll give him some weaponry. So I think it's time for that. And the backpack still attaches the same way. Only one major thing changes. This can now become sword. Shield for Optimus. So if you don't want, if you can use the extra shield. You can just leave this off to the side. I'll leave it off to the side and leave him the cloud. His new shield. But at least. I'm just getting this in. And that mushroom. Which this is tight. You know what? Here, I'll do that when we go into alt mode. Alt mode, show it off. Because that's tight and I don't want to waste more time fiddling with it. Well, we still have more other stuff to do. So I'll save that part for when we go into his alt mode. Let me see. They're telling you how to do the shield. They're telling you how to do the weapons. Oh, wait, how do we do this in the shield? Nation. Oh, okay. Yeah, they are showing you how to use it. I see how it works. I'll do the shield. Should I do the shield? I'll do the shield now for this. And then I'll look on the other stuff. The weapons. So I would stick this, because this is how it would be for robot mode with these small. Tapped in. And I'm just gonna open these up. Gonna bring this up. So we're gonna bring this grill section down, this section forward, down, down, like that. So now this is gonna go from the front of the shield. These will just sit in their original spots, just angling down. And same with this side. Side, I believe it's like that, or they sit more forward. Let me see, I'm looking at the image. They sit one more down. Kind of sit at the halfway point right there. And now with this section, bring forward, and this will just cover up that section. So there, he has a new shield. And same bit, so you want to grab that little piece that we got earlier. Okay, and this will just slide into that little section. Up in it, and push in. Make sure it's straight going in. Bring this up. There, that went in easy. There, so now that is like that, so he can use this as a shield. And it's on a 5mm port. 5mm post. There, you get a new shield. I'm not going to use this as shield mode. It's an option. Option. Just remove it. I'm going to put that to the side. And his arm slid forward again. Got it. Well, slid back. Okay. Let's look at his spine. Then we'll do the weapons. So this will just sit in the back. So we're going to bring this up, and this will just sit in here. And this will just sit in here. What is going on now? Maybe if I do the angle up and then in. Yeah, you have to get that little front section up, and then that will sit right there. So now he has his spine. In robot mode, yeah, I'll use it. Well, when he's in the back, yeah, I'll use it in robot mode. There. Now that cleans up his back, but you don't really see it unless you're looking directly from his back. Okay, here's that. Here, I'll store the new weapons, the shield and sword on him for a minute, so you can at least see. Or so I'm just split these down. Here, and then I'll do the other weapons like his gun. And then the blades, and I'll do his other weapons, and then I'll do the main weapon. How will I display him? That part, I don't know. Well, as of this review video stream, I don't know. Boxing stream there. So that will just sit right there, but you can't really do that. I just realized because the port's more in. So you're gonna have to angle this up and then out the way. Yeah, so you need something with a long post. Nope. Okay, well, I'll show that off in a minute. Later. And don't worry, I'll still show off how like one weapon looks the original weapons look in his arm versus the new one. So let's look at the daggers within the arms. I'll show the storage stuff later before we go in all mode. So for the dagger, they can just go into slots. They still go in the same slots. There. So you get a dagger. How about 2 daggers? I'm not gonna really pose him up. I might do one pose and bring something out. There, daggers. I'm gonna leave them forward. Swords. So now then, since the panel is longer, you can use them as the arm as one sword, and I'll just do the original thing. And yeah, original, new. And you know what? While we're showing the weapons, why don't I break out the new sword that I got? So you can see the difference between the new one and the one that comes with Get, or the brand new one that I got from Shozy store. It could just depend like on where you purchase it. They'll give you a free random one. It's random. I don't know. I wasn't expecting the new swords. Okay, that's the original sword. Yeah. So far, I like the new swords better. Better? I don't know. I might actually like the new ones. Because they're more orange than reddish versus the classic ones. Here is the one that comes with the kit. And here's the one that I got. Yeah, I like the new one better. So I might do this one. But I'm just giving you options if you get either one. And then just, they're same mold, so nothing really changes. You can still do this with both sides. Oh, wait, maybe. No. And yeah. And the hands still have the same articulation, so I'm not really gonna go over that. Show that. There, so you get those orange blades that come standard with the kit, or you have the 2 that I got. These could just be like a first one bonus. And then after that, you don't get them anymore. There. So yeah, I do like how these look. I might give them, if I display them, I'll give them these ones. The ones that they get. Okay. Okay. I don't think all of them can store in alt mode because you only get, the standard 2 and they didn't. But, okay, there's that. Let's see. Dagger is done. Let's give him this gun. And then let's give him this sword. And I'll show the sheath off with all of those creations you can do for storage. Minute. There, so since he's holding his blaster, if you want, you probably could do this. Give him like he's like holding it with both hands. Almost look like he's holding it with both hands. Both hands. No. Arrow. I mean, it's that way it's like he's looking holding it with both hands, but if you want. I don't know if I'll do displaying with the gun. And the blades and swords. I don't know yet. I have multiple options, multiple poses too I could do. I might do the classic sword and shield. The new sword and shield, though. I'm gonna try doing the weapons, getting these shoulders on. So I'm gonna step off camera and do this. I'm also gonna take my drink. So get a drink. Grab a drink. Sorry, a notification popped up and I clicked on accident. And it's a notification. And then I quickly closed it out and then came back here. Because I didn't know if that would mess up the stream. Try one last time getting these arms on fully. If it doesn't work, it's okay, I'll do it off stream. Not working. I'll do it off stream with help. That way I don't. That way we can just focus on Prime and not, take a break. Yeah, work on those heals again to that other heal and getting bent, but I'll do that again off stream. Oh, I'm not adding more time. Okay, there's that. Well, let's take a look at his new weaponry. Well, in the versus the old ones. So I might even store the original one so you can see how that looks versus the new storage. I got a glimpse of as I pop the arm off. Here, let me do this. Put the arm on like a different way and rotate it in. I mean, I got it in, but it's still not fully in. And I can always take a like sandpaper and sand down that peg, mushroom peg too. I think I got in, but now it's stiff and won't move. And I'm untabbing the chest, which transformation does change, and I'll show that off. Off slightly change. It's just more of the where weapon storage goes. That's what changes. So show that off. Yeah, the arms I'll do later. I'll fix later. Let's take a look at the weapons. So again, I'll do the right this time with the new, left original sword. Sword. Original. New sword. Sword. There. So you can see this one. And here is the left is the original. The right is the new. Here, I'll also rotate it. So there you can see this sword's just still kind of loose and with the hand open. The new one's snug with the hand open. So that's better. The grip is wider. You can see this one's more thinner. This one's more bulk to it. And then the tips are the same, are stronger. This one's like more plastic. This is more solid. You can see the writing right there. This one does not. The original does not have that. Give it an angle. So, there. So yeah, differences. I like the new one better. So, for instance, it's all your own preference. If you want to like swap the heels, swap that backpack section. Do the weaponry and swap the arms and everything like that. Now for the sword guns, I'll do the opposite way. I'll still do it the same way. So this is the original Chanel. I'll remove the sword in a sec. I'm just doing this side. But yeah, I have the sword open. It's not dropping. If I have the hand open and the sword in there, it's not dropping. If I do this one, it is too. So, but yeah, if I like move it, but yeah, so if you have it in all the way, it won't drop. Yeah, I'll do the cannon modes too. I'll just close up its best. Yeah, I like the upgraded weapons. Personally. That's just your opinions. So I'm not gonna force you to buy something you don't want to buy, even though that happens sometimes. Rum knows what I mean. There, so that's the original. This is the original. That's the new one. So you can see how they look with the new arms. Yeah, I like the paint here. I'll do this. Just get that out of the way. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm definitely fixing this. If I have not effect transformation, just realized. Or at least got that side on better. So, 2. Yeah, I better not effect transformation. I just realized that. Okay. Here we go. Original? No. The new. 1 second. I just got my notification that my phone's almost dead, so I'm going to charge it. Well, I'm still streaming, so I'm also bringing the camera right in the middle. Right there. And so let's see, I'll do it like this. I'll just do the cannon formation off camera because this is going to keep popping off. In case it does while I'm moving the arm. And I'll talk about which cannon I like better. And again, it's the new one. And transformation does not change, so I might just do it off camera, just so I don't have to deal with the arms keep, in case the arms keep popping off, that would get annoying. Because they're not on all the way, as I said, the other one pops off. But only one step, a few step changes. I'll show that when we get to it. You're gonna see, yeah, that detail I already like better. Just spread, spin, spread. And one thing I didn't mention, the barrel is longer. There, that's the original cannon form. I'm gonna bring the camera slightly up. Cannon form versus the movie accurate cannon form. Do remember it being more like this. So slowly here, I'm gonna move the cannon itself and not the arm. Yeah, I do prefer this cannon a lot. This cannon shield better. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna swap I'm just gonna put him with the new weapons so you can see how they look. Look. I don't need, I'll probably, you know what, I won't show anything else with the new weapons because this is first focus on the kit, so I don't get, add more time. Add more time. So there you go. Plus, you can always go watch my review and see how the original weapons looked. Well, storage, transformation, I'm just gonna focus on the new ones. Also, I do like how the arms have that extra paint. There we go. And yeah, I did see this in the review. I don't think I showed it off. If you angle it like this way, you can kind of get like he's pointing towards you. That way it's more pointing forward. So you can like do it like angle this out. If it doesn't pop off and then angle, and well, could angle this like this and bring that up. And this is probably gonna pop off too. Yeah, I'm gonna do this off camera. Getting him in that pose I was talking about. Just gonna put the other arm on. Yeah, I'll do transformation off camera because this is gonna be annoying. With that arm popping off almost every second. Move it. Guys, it could just be my copy. Your copy could be a lot easier. Well, with how the arms are. That. That way you can get that, and then you have the new arm. Or you could just, straighten that back out. It's going to hinge twist and recenter it. And just rotate. There we go. Why is my, yeah, now they're blowing up the chat more. There you go. All right, let's go over they are the backpack storage with the new bits, and then yeah, transformation. Time. I need to remember to mute that chat when I'm streaming so I don't see the notifications pop up every 5 seconds. Almost seems like it's 5 seconds that's popping up now. For chat, it's not all the time, and now all of a sudden it's now. Okay, I turned off the sound so I didn't keep hearing it go off every time someone put a message in the chat. I'm just going to put the cannon back into its shield formation. And again, reattach the arm. Arm. Arm and there. And if you have that heel bent, you just gotta straighten it out too. Which I just did some there. Okay. Let's do his storage. And then yeah, we'll be done in a sec. So I'm just gonna put the backpack hinge this section back up and remove this. Okay, here I got that bit removed. I'm going to reconfigure the backpack. Having it transformed the way it was, so bend that up. Hold right here. Come on, go up now. Go up now, because I need you to go up. Now. But yeah, it will get easier over each time I transform him, so I'm just going to bring the shield back up. Just a piece that I used to move it down, now won't go up fully. And I need it to be. Nothing's in the way. Give me a sec. Come on. You really worked when you went into your shield formation, transformation, and now you wanted to go back this way. I got one side back up, but now I'm just going to clip this again. Okay, I'm going to just get that in and up. I got it. Yeah, it was just like a stiff getting it back up. Way up. It's up. It's in. There. There. I'm just going to get on that mushroom pack. And I'm going to remove that spine piece just to make it easier. Easier now? I'm just going to get that on that mushroom pack. And the rest is simply easy. Come on, go in. Get on your peg. Slide in your home. Get on your mushroom pad. Get on your mushroom. Get on your mushroom peg, please. Get on the mushroom peg. Get on your mushroom peg. Why is the mushroom peg not really working tonight? All nights. I need to get that dog in before I go yell at her. There, he finally leaving me being quiet. Yeah, that group chat went quiet. Ow. And that could have been 2 group chats that was blowing up to no one dry. So I'll read it later. Here, but I'm definitely reading that next time. Now this monster pack won't even go into your new home. New home. Home. Let me do this thing. So definitely things tight on my copy of the kit. First the arms being a little too tight, and now this section being tight. The heel, the pin took a minute, but I got it on. On. Might be able to get away with it not going in its home because I can at least have the backpack in and then have that mushroom pack that goes in on. So I might be able to cheat it and not have it fully packed in, as other things are coming undone. There. At least the arms weren't that tight and they were on mushroom packs. There, I managed to get it on without flipping that, without that little mushroom pack. Okay, so yeah, this section would sit up over like that for original. This way, you can bend this down and that will sit right there as it came untapped. Yeah, there. You just gotta hold this, moving it in, but it's not fully secure. Okay. Transformation all just done. Just gonna look and see because they mentioned it. Transformation here. Yeah, it's just the heels they gotta remove. Give me one sec. I'll remove this for a sec. Now reattach the spine. I see how they want you to store the gun. So I'm just gonna put the spine in. This bit, you want to have it slid under, up, and push it in. Take the storage bit, and now that's wire. That's how. I just saw it in the instructions. So that's. Oh, that would. What the? Hold on. Okay, I see it. Because then you want to open the shield. Shield. And then have that post that I showed you earlier, and then the sword go in there. In there. In there. So yeah, you can store it without the backpack on. I just saw that. And dog needs to shut up. Not sure if you guys can hear her or not, but she's right outside the window, barking. No, stay in here. Weapon storage, that's the best I'm gonna get it. If you go watch Ghost review, he did a little bit better job. He did a better job on this kit. And not, all these issues that I'm having. But granted, I probably edited it out so they didn't have issues. I'm just looking at the storage and seeing if they want me to do it when I look at it. I go there. Okay. That goes there. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna get these arms back in and tabbed in. There we go. It sounds like dog shut up. Because she just came inside. You're using the weapon storage adapter or not. Doesn't show, but here. This will go in on that port. And, yep. It didn't go in all the way. Give me a minute. Get you in. Angle. To grab you in. Time to grab that. Yeah, there's definitely some sanding I'll do later. Off stream so it works better, so I don't have to keep fighting everything. One, two, gently. There's the new storage with the back on. Yeah, and remove it. Okay, there you show another thing you can do with storage. Bridge. I'm also just gonna flip the little peg post, that little sheath, throw the sword on the cannon in. Well, yeah, you can. Okay, where did I put that? Here, give me a sec. So, I think the reason I'm looking for is a spell. Yeah, I did. Found it. Okay. So here, there's this one, the new one. The sword will go in the middle. Middle. So, and then you're just gonna put one hook. This is the standard hook. Blade, standard blade. And it seems like one side goes on one side. And if you want, you can put the dagger on this side. On the other side, or you can have it, one blade, or both blades, or yeah, one side works better for the weapons. And then this just sits on the back. Once you get these back tabbed in, there's that. Just get rid of the backpack. And I need to remove the spine too. I just want to see one thing. I'm just wondering if the new weapons can go in on the original ports. Doesn't look like. It might be two. The original like slots where they went on the original figure. Sword. The dagger. Yeah, sword. Nerd. It would be a maybe. The swords would be a maybe where they went on the original. Yeah. So there's like there. So if you want, I can do that. If you can do that too. Okay. I'm gonna transform him into truck mode. I'm gonna probably do off camera so I don't have to deal with those arms. And I'll show where everything stores in alt mode. So see you there. I'm just gonna leave the camera rolling and just, do that. I'm also gonna remove the spine. And to remove the spine. There, so everything can store except for two things, but let's talk about that in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna transform into alt mode. So I might just do this off camera because this, backpack give me issues, so we'll see. And I'm just gonna speed through it since I'm pretty sure transformation, nothing really changes. Because then these will still hook onto the front section for him. I'm gonna do this off camera for a minute. We'll see. Well, we'll see how I do that. Also, so here, this is the only thing that changes. These bits. The forearm guards. You want to pop them off. Off. There's a tab right there that goes in the slot on the arm. And then they have a little like tab at the bottom of them. On the side of them. Okay, you want the tab in for raw mode. Okay. Other than that, that's everything. So I'm just gonna do it off camera for a minute. And I'll come back in view. Anyway, I'll still get final thoughts in a few minutes. I'm just fighting with somebody, getting this and getting that collapsed. I'm going to get the arms now. And the arms still transform like the original. There's no differences there. There. This might be where I need to push the arms on, because how they worked. Worked before, or these had to be aligned up, and then get this arm in slot in that slot. Easier than done. I didn't realize this when I was doing the arms earlier. I even tapped into this side of the door and into the arm, which they went in the arm slot. So it's at least holding that will hold it in. Now, but will the hips, the shoulder armor go in the same place because that is sitting a bit off unless it's supposed to sit like this. I'm gonna still work on it on the off camera. Get it in fully. I have the arms somewhat situated. That. Forward, forward, spin, spin. Don't need you coming undone. And to bend. Hold it behind. Tap in. Get that arm in. Bring this up. We should take this and do that. Step. There. That. Right there. To push. Bring it down. This is a longer video than I expected it to be. We're doing like maybe 40 an hour. We're literally past 2 hours now. Realized it. Well, yeah. Well, I'm still doing it with this. Okay. One side didn't go in fully. And the arm didn't go in fully. One Optimus work. Me so I can be done with you for today. Great day. Now that sign's not single line. See if I can get this in. Strain it more out. this in, maybe, and bring this back. Tab that in. There, we got it more straight. Oh, to make sure this side's the other side's straight. And out. Out. So I'm just gonna strain this. I got one side better. I got this side to work on now, which is pretty much better. I'm gonna drink my drink. Get some help getting that on. The arms on. So yeah, I'll be right back. If it doesn't work, I'll do that. Which it might not work. So that's causing everything else to go messed up. So now those arms don't tab in, so well they should. It's 22. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Just gonna transform it back in robot mode real quick. Be right back. It might take me a couple minutes to get these, well, without putting them on. Would send them, but that's gonna take more time. That's I'm also gonna drink my drink. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes then. Yeah, I just gotta get these arms on that mushroom peg, and they're just, not working. Just gonna put the little elbow guard back on. All right, I'll be back in a few. This is a pain. I'll let someone else deal with it. There, I'm back. I'm gonna dial it down because that was not working with help. And file the mushroom pack down so this can actually work. I'm just gonna get the other arm. And probably do it off our camera. Only file from it. Because yeah, the mushroom pack is tight here. Angle this out away from the figure and just swipe. To also like sand down the sides a bit. The mushroom pack and then the front one too. Just file the front a bit easier. And test it again with the new filing. Done. With the filing done. So far. So good. Good. I got it pushed in. Now I just gotta get it fully in. So yeah, I'm gonna send it. So yeah, that's working better. So I'm just gonna send this down a bit more. To adjust angle. Push in. Filing worked. I just got pushed in. It's just tight joint. Okay, I'm going to just go. Oh, it's more. let's try this again. In. And then let's try sending in that little the port, this section where it slides in on the arm. So that might work. Work. Just going to send it a little bit more. I mean, it looks better, but that's just in the front. It's holding on. It's not popping off fully. And got it sitting a bit better, but still not as good as it should be. I'll go have him do it. I'll be back in a few. Okay, you know what? I'll keep trying it because if I can get on, I can finish it here and then I don't go back out. And then I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Right here. And to just clean the bottom of that port, the restroom peg. It slides, and maybe that might help it. Help it. Can you give me it there? Trying it again. I've got it on better. It's holding better. So it's not like popping off when I move it. As I say, adjust it. So yeah, I'm gonna do off camera. Be right back. It took longer than I expected. I got it sanded in. Just it helped because it would take me hours just to get in here. And the point. Now I got that sanded in. The arms are in and they're not, sticking out. If I rotate it, for example, let's do one side. It's in, it's holding. See, it's not like coming out. Out, it's holding. It's holding. Definitely just, you can skip some parts of the video. I didn't realize it was this long. All right, now let's transform and I'll deal with the backpack hinge later. At least I got that done. The heels on, everything on. It's just some parts are tight. Okay, I'm gonna transform him. I just put the armor guards back on, so I'm gonna transform him. I'm gonna do it on camera since that way, because there's been a lot of stuff off camera. And I'm just seeing how the weapons go in alt mode. Which I think I know how they go in alt mode. I'll double check. Yeah, okay. Let's transform Prime. I'm not gonna talk about the steps because I'm just gonna go my own speed. Unpaste. Alright, show the transformation for him. Because I lose that pace. Okay. Let's transform Optimus in his alt mode with the new upgraded arms. And try to message Gina and tell him, hey, don't check your tolerances or something. God. I'll work on that backpack hinge later. Or at least send that hinge down. But I'll do it off stream, so I'm not, doing that on stream again. Up, in there. And then that will sit right there. This will sit up and forward. Okay. Let me get the backpack on. I put that section. It is. Okay. Now over the camera. To at least drop it in. There, I got it kind of on that mushroom peg. So it's at least kind of in, and now to in, push in, draw up in, put push this in, push that up. And Optimus still has the same articulation, so I'm not going to like show off the articulation. Let's see if I can get on that mushroom again. But there. Okay. Arms. Where we left off at up and been up. Straighten out. So now it's the moment of truth. If I can get the arms in. And up. And up. Swivel. 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 Don't you come out. Don't you come out. I'm going to do this arm section off camera and see. Perfect. 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 And tap in. Arm one. Perfect. It moved the way it should move. Now I gotta do the other side. This side that took longer. Spin. Spin. Good. arms are sitting in their place. Everything's tabbing in. It's green. It's good from here. So now, because this section didn't, like these sections didn't tab in earlier, now they are. Bring that down. So I'm gonna get one in, and then I'll do the other side. And bring that in. To get that in. And now that little like shoulder piece is tabbing into the arms. And while you're doing this front section, you can bring this out. Now we have room to work. Add this in. There. There. Now this will just pull that up and sit and collapse up right there in the front section. And make sure these go in all the way. There. That's sitting in perfectly. Perfectly flush. I just realized one arm wasn't tapped in to the door, but there, it's sitting better than it was when I went to go first transform it with the upgrade kit. Now the legs are the same, so I'm just gonna do it quick. Bring it forward, tab that in, spin. Nice. I'm gonna make sure the hands stay straight. In, in, up. And spin. I'm just gonna finish it off camera until I get to the new bit, which will be there in a minute. That way I can just kind of rush without worrying about it and take my time. And just take my time and relax. Don't have to rush. It's already a long video anyway. I can make it longer. Spin. And I'll say this, at least I didn't have issues with the screws. Because if you know, in the Sentinel Prime upgrade kit that I did a while ago, now I had issues with those getting those screws in. That took me a bit. But yeah, these arms took a bit. So yeah, DNA, please double check your tolerances. So that way I don't have to do this again. Well, at least I had help and got it done. But that could also been like the Hasbro mushroom pack, so. But yeah, DNA could make sure it was perfect. You're gonna do something could have gone wrong and they didn't realize it. But I mean, I had help. I got in. The roof of the truck still taps into the roof. Just, it's the new section. Okay, I got all that in the back done, got everything connected. Now there's these bits. Now there's these parts. Yeah, I know it's not like rolling fully. Here, what's that? Okay. Put you off camera. Alright, now, so there's these sections. Right there, DNA does mention these instructions where to put them. And something follows. The instruction fall. So I'm just gonna look and see how you want them. And then also I got the weapon storage ridge for all these pieces. So they will go. Yeah, if you have those on and if you have the heels flipped up, remove those bits and remove and flatten out the heel. So they will sit in those notches behind the fit. Okay, and then close everything up. Up, 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 up. So I'll do one side off camera and see. Here, maybe. I'll do one off and another one on cam. We're at the last stretch. I'm just figuring out where these go. So if I'm looking, it looks like they go under the feet. And this just kind of is this a loose snap bit, so. Had it and then it came undone. It came out undone, but now I know where it goes. These are just basically loose, but the loincloth will hold it in. These bits will hold them in. I'll hold these in now. Kind of have it rest. Maybe I got the wrong side. Do you want these forward? No, you want these angled. I believe Emgo had to swap it around when he did his. Can't pull this video up. Let's see. And oh, you're going in. try the other side and see. This fits. Let me get one in before. Came undone the little tab, so I might have to do it both and then push it in. So I'll show it when it's done, but it's taking me a minute. Just kind of rest in and then why are you coming out now? Perfectly. There, I got it in. It didn't really tab in. Came undone. Done. But it's holding it in its place, so I'm just gonna lock the other side in. Here's the other side. Popped out. There, I got him in. That's the best. If they pop out, I can put it back in. Oh, come on. If they pop out, I'll put him back in. Actually, they didn't pop out. They're kind of just loose tabbed in. It's not the best tab. These sections are holding them in. Going to here. That one just came untabbed, but the other one went in. Better. There, I got him right there. Those little silver bits. That's the best I'm gonna do with that. I'm not gonna fight him. Still rolls. That didn't change. So let's talk about the storage. So we're gonna use everything for storage. So we're gonna put the spine in. You believe you want it in this. This is gonna sit in the back, filling this section out. You want it up like that, or you want it the other way. Let me see. It's to one of these ways we went in. I just closed the instructions. Let me see. Okay, you want this? This forward and down. This is just sit right there. Okay, I want to take this, the new storage adapter. I want to put the sword in first. Slide it all the way in. You're going to take your daggers. And this will go in right there. Both on both sides. Oh, come on. That will go in the trailer port. Like so. Yeah, it's not the best. The other one, the other way is better. And you also have this port. Top. This is going to go on. It did, but the legs is kind of tabbed. There you go. That was one of the arm guards. No, oh, just the spine piece came untapped. Come on down. But here, let me get everything tabbed in, and I'll bring it back in. And the gun just goes on top of the shield. Gun just goes on top of the shield, pointing like that. It's the there. You get the idea. Into it goes. Restart this back on. We have this back on. Okay, if something comes, if one of the weapons come out, that's they can't really. The spine doesn't really hold. So let's see if I can get it in the other way. No, it doesn't work. Just hold this hard, and then the swords go in the same way the original they did. And they just stabbed on the side of the leg, on the half, but you have two swords, so technically four. Two swords. I had it, and then that little bit came out. Okay, so I'll just do the official ones that came with the kit. These just go right here on these tabs. Bottom. 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 Yeah, the back's not good. There, well, storage. Okay, anyways, I've been the Ultimate Wolf. You can find the Ultimate Wolf on Twitch, the Ultimate Wolf Instagram, the Ultimate Wolf on Discord. At Ultimate Wolf 19 on X. / Ultimate Wolf YT on Reddit. All capital for there. Anyways, I've been the only Ultimate Wolf. The kit is good. The pins took a minute getting in. The arms, you want to, it's tight. You have to sand it down like I did. The new sword, the new weapons are good. You got the 2 plates, which I got from Shozi, but depending where you order it. screws raising the little bit. So if you want, you can turn the front into the shield. It's nice. Get that new bit, so that way that sits lower. It's good. There's no really issues. Well, with those few pieces just not going in. But yeah, anyways, and weapon storage if you care about it. Anyways, I've been the one, the only Ultimate Wolf.